All right, I'm back with a build plan of a custom blaster I'm going to put together. We'll talk a little bit about the different things going on here and some of the different parts and pieces, of course. So I was lucky enough to get another 3D printer around Christmas time, so I got a much better one that's a lot faster and can print bigger. So expect some really cool builds in the future. What we're looking at here is this is an HK416C that I'm going to go ahead and customize. So XFORCETAC USA, they do a nice job of performance upgrades. William, who is the owner there, is very, very knowledgeable when it comes to performance upgrades. And you can actually even send him a gearbox and he can go ahead and customize it for you. I've mentioned in the past, replacing metal gears can be hard. Just you have to be really patient. It's not necessarily hard to replace them. It's hard to put the gearbox back together after the fact without things moving. And I'm not a very patient person, and William was nice enough to do a couple upgrades for me. So XFORCETAC USA has upgraded this gearbox. So new nozzle, cylinder, metal gears, spring, all in here. So we should definitely get some good performance. Unfortunately, I did not have any additional metal barrels, so we're going to stay with the stock plastic barrel as of right now. I didn't really want to tear apart a perfectly good blaster to get out a metal barrel. But so that's what we got going on here. So nice upgraded gearbox. So if you're looking for performance upgrades, if you want to do it on your own, XFORCETAC has all the parts, or if you want to even have him do it for you, you can go ahead and send one to him, and I believe he offers that service as well. Also, just pointing out some good gel beads. People ask all the time. So they got some good glow-in-the-dark ones. Remember, those are really only going to work best if you're using a tracer. You'll still get some glow otherwise, but pretty much a tracer is what you're going to want to do. Here's some Ultra Hards, Predator Ultra Hards. I haven't tried those yet, but those should be on par with like the Ozgel Ultra Elites. And then we got some Tenacity hardened gel balls. So these will be the hardest. So if you got gel blasters up around 300 FPS, you may want to try the Predator, otherwise Tenacity. Okay, so let's talk about the build plan here. All right, so like I said, I got a new printer. I can print some bigger things. I wanted to try some different things. I also like to keep mixing it up. I don't want to redo the same blasters over and over. So I try to find different barrels that I can use. So you can see this is obviously a different size kind of barrel, different style barrel. This actually was for some blaster that you could build from scratch, some airsoft you could build from scratch. So I had to go ahead and modify the size. I'm able to do those kind of things. I can't really do any designing in Mesh Mixer. I don't know how to do that, and I've tried a few times, gotten frustrated. But I can definitely resize things, do measurements. I got that really fast printer now, so I can print little pieces, make sure things fit before I print the whole thing. So we got a nice, cool kind of elongated barrel that we're going to go with right here. Okay, so one thing I really like about the HK416s, and you'll see this in the Gen 9 M4A1s as well, when you take them apart, there's threaded here, this is threaded here for a barrel nut, and there's one on there obviously when you take it apart. But if you have something with a barrel nut, then when you go, if you decide to ever print a different barrel, if you're looking to do any sort of customization, the blasters with the barrel nuts are going to be easiest because things are going to fit together like they should and be nice and secure without other types of modifications. Now, of course, there's plenty of other things you can do to make them fit, but this will be the easiest, right? So we got that there. We're going to have a top rail. So I made this one a little thinner because it's going to line up perfect with the top rail on the actual receiver. So I wanted to do that, of course. Got a nice lower rail down here that's going to go on the bottom. Okay, and then I'm also going to utilize, I have barrel stabilizers in here. You can see that black barrel stabilizer in there. I'm going to go ahead and secure those with when I put these rails on. So obviously this screw is going to go in here, that's fine. But then these screws have open M-lock spots, and I'm actually just going to I'm going to line up barrel stabilizers with each one of these, and that way they'll be held in place by the screws here and then the screw on the bottom from the bottom rail. So that's the plan with that. When it comes to accessories off the top of that, I'm not exactly sure. We're going to go ahead and use this as a cool little piece I found now. This slides all the way along the bottom here to go butt up right against your receiver. And again, just adds a little stability. It's a little grip. So we'll put that back down here on the bottom. And then we'll probably put some sort of foregrip out, you know, towards the front as well. All right. Got a riser, just kind of a nice riser. It's just going to be a little longer than the receiver, so that also does help, just to help stabilize things, keep everything nice and straight. And then here's a really cool new stock I printed where you can see it actually has storage for another magazine right there. So that's cool. And then I just did this on the back for put my little logo. And then if you just kind of pop that out, that's obviously where the battery is going to go. Now, if you used a buffer tube that had the screw on back, you wouldn't need to do something like this. You could just use the buffer tube. But I don't have that many of those metal buffer tubes that have that screw on back, so I went ahead and did that since that was nice and easy to print. All right, other than that, the plan is with the long inner barrel, put a threaded tip on the end, and probably some sort of, you know, little tip like this, you know, fake silencer type of thing that's going to actually go inside the barrel slightly. I'm not quite exactly sure where, depending on how long this is. Once we get it all put together, that is how I will decide, and maybe I'll mix it up and go with a different one as well. All right, so that's the build plan. Again, XFORCETAC USA for lots of performance parts, and even for the service of upgrading blasters if you're looking to have someone else do it. Check back. I'll do a reveal once I complete the build, and of course a demonstration once everything is put together. So we'll shoot it and see how strong it is. Comments, questions posted below. I try to answer everything. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in all those awesome monthly giveaways. Thanks for the support.